Hello, everybody, and welcome to this second episode of Facing the Facts. Our guest today has quoted a lot of controversy with his choices as regards the current ongoing Anglophone crisis. He has been at the heart of the many turning points within the conflict, and we all want to hear from the horse's mouth today. A professed pastor at the Church of Christ and chancellor at the Christ Kingdom University, he is a public relations officer of the Justice for All human rights group based in Boya and Chief Executive Officer of Sun Investment Limited, based in Douala. I am your host, Pamela Bonkiu, and our guest today is none other than Dr. Success Nkongo. So I will bring Dr. Success Nkongo on the show now. So welcome, Dr. Success Nkongo. We're so happy to have you today. How do you prefer us to call you, Dr. Success or Nkongo?
Anyhow you prefer, you choose to call me, I'm fine by it. I think God gave people names and not titles.
Okay. So welcome, Success. Thank you very much for joining us. And there's so much that people want to know from you. So let's face those facts. To our audience, make sure to send your questions throughout the interview and we will pass them on to Dr. Success. So I'll start from the very beginning. As it appears, your presence on this earth is a miraculous one. Is it true that your mother was pregnant with you for 1 year, 6 months, and 2 weeks?
Yes, that's true. How did you know that?
Well, we did our research. So moving on, your childhood appears to not have been a very happy one, especially after you lost your mother. And you've spoken about this, that you lost your mom when you were 5 years old, and you endured a lot after that, which prompted you to attempt suicide. And then this led to your calling as a pastor. What happened?
Yeah, when all hopes were gone and everybody had abandoned me, I, at a certain time, decided to take away my life. And that was at my tender age. So I went to the forest to hang, trying to carry out the suicide act. I heard the sound of sweet gospel music coming from afar off, and a voice spoke to me and said, "It's better you go and listen to this sweet music for your last time before you die." And I decided to trace where the music was coming from. Upon arriving there, the man of God began to preach as if somebody told him everything about my life. And at the end of the day, I found myself on the altar to accept Jesus as my Lord and Savior. After which I was baptized in the Holy Ghost. I was baptized in water. Then I also had an encounter where I was on top of the mountain and saw people were bound at the feet of the mountain and they were groaning in pains and crying for help. I couldn't stand their groan and I began to sob uncontrollably. Then the Lord said to me, and in the course of that crying, I asked God that He should raise someone to go and help these people. And God said to me, "For this purpose did I bring you out of your mother's womb, to wipe away their tears and take them from all satanic captivity and restore them to their heritage." So, thank you.
Wow, that's quite an interesting story to hear. So you're the last of 5 siblings. So what happened to your older siblings when you were going through all of this?
All of them had gone for adventure and everyone was just minding their own businesses at that time.
Okay. Well, we're happy that you're still alive today, thanks to God calling you. But then in a bit to clarify where your prefix of doctor comes from, I'll visit your academic background. So you have a PhD in religious philosophy and an honorary doctorate degree in divinity. From what university did you get your PhD?
I wouldn't want to disclose that now because I want to do that at the court session with my case with Aya Paul Abine, because I have a court case with Aya Paul Abine and I will disclose that during the court session in Yaoundé. Thank you.
When is this court session happening so that we can keep abreast and follow up on progress?
We are waiting for the court to call for us, so we are just waiting. I've summoned him already, so I've sued him already, so I'm waiting for the summon. So once that will be done, it will go on air and everyone will know the outcome of the court session.
But that's an interesting, we didn't know about this court case. So what is this court case related to?
I posted that on my Facebook page, and I think you should have gone through my Facebook page too to see that I have posted a lawsuit against Mr. Ayapol Abine, Akosin Raymond. In fact, all the Akosins and the Ayas and many others is on my Facebook account. You can go through at your convenience and see it there.
No, but this is we're asking also for our audience that might not be aware of it, so that would also it'd also be good for them to hear it from you. But anyways, like you've directed them to your Facebook page, so everyone, if you're interested to know about that court case, please by all means go to Success's Facebook page to find out what that is all about. So, which establishment or university awarded you with an honorary doctorate and why?
Like I said, I wouldn't want to disclose that now. I have two doctorate degrees. One is an honorary, the other one I merited it, I earned it. So I wouldn't want to disclose that now because Ayapol challenged me and I want to do that. I want to challenge him back in the court with my authentic doctorate degrees from institutions that are well recognized by the world. So that will only be done in the court, not here.
Okay, we hear you. So you're the Chancellor of Christ Kingdom University, which is styled as a unique world-class interdenominational theological school, an arm of Church of Christ. So just to offer clarity, is this the Church of Christ of Latter-day Saints, which would also be the Mormon Church?
No, Church of Christ, the one I'm working with, is not the Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saint. It's a
Okay.
different one. Yeah.
Okay. So we tried to check out your university's website at cku.cm, but it seems to be faulty. Are you aware of that?
Yes, since 2017, I shut it down for some reasons, and it will come up back in the next few months to come.
So where exactly is the university based? Where is it located?
We have a main branch in Daido in Douala.
And how many students attend it annually?
So far, we have graduated more than 9,000 students since I took over the leadership of the school. And currently, we don't have a good number of students because I have been out of the country for a while now. But
Mhm.
yes, I have returned back to my base, and maybe by next academic year, things will come back to normalcy.
9,000. Wow, that's quite impressive. So what subjects do you offer at
Oh,
your university?
sorry?
I'm saying 9,000 is quite an impressive number to graduate each year. So what
I
subjects do you
think
offer at your university?
we is a theological school. Is a theological school. We teach theology. We teach systematic theology, exegetical theology, historic theology, and practical theology. So those are the main courses we offer in our school. And it will excite you to know that most, if not 60% of the Pentecostal clergies
Mhm.
in Cameroon have passed through our school or through a school that came through our school.
Okay, so what other universities or schools outside of Cameroon is your school affiliated to?
We are members of the Oral Roberts University Academic Fellowship. We
Mhm.
are also members of the Vision International University. We are also affiliated to Abundant Word Bible College. We are affiliated to many other theological schools in the world.
So when your website does come up, we'll be able to verify all these affiliations, right?
Sure.
And when can we expect this website to be ready?
I can say maybe in the next 3 to 5 months from now.
Okay, so you're a public relations officer for Justice for All, which is based in Boya. I also visited the Facebook page out of curiosity for Justice for All just to see what you do. And I know that it's a human rights group, but we want to understand a bit more from yourself, who are like the porte-parole for the organization, what the organization has been
Well,
up to.
I was the PRO for Justice for All when it began. When I noticed that I was instrumented by the founder and his secretary for
Mhm.
selfish reasons, so I pulled out of it. But
Mhm.
for the time where I was the PRO, we did our best to advocate for justice for few cases, among which one of them I wouldn't like to mention his name because I'm not sure he would like his name to be mentioned, who was freed from Kondegi because he was unjustly incarcerated in Kondegi. We
We're very
advocated.
interested in his name. We can't say that we don't want to hear someone's name that Justice for All has freed. Who is this person? Pray do tell.
The person lives in Yaoundé, and I don't think the person would like his name to be mentioned, but you can find out from from Justice Aya Paul. He can tell you better about the person. I wouldn't want that to come from me because it's an agreement I had with the person not to mention his name publicly.
Okay, that's understandable. So let's move over to other things that you do. So you're also a chief executive officer of Sun Investment Limited, which is based in Douala. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Sun Investment Limited.
What is Sun Investment Limited all about?
Sun Investment Limited is a multi-dimensional business that does contracting, and we do import and export as well.
Okay, so we presume it's a profitable business and people can come in and
Yes,
invest if they want to?
it's a profitable business. But since the crisis began, everything was shut down. So I had to replicate the same company outside Cameroon, but with a slightly different name, which I wouldn't want to give the name on this social media platform because I know that most of my haters would like to write the Nigerian government and the Ghanaian government to sabotage my company. I can do
Okay.
that in private whenever we meet personally, or you can inbox me. I can send you the documents of the company.
Okay, so if Sun Investment is based in Douala, how is the fighting in the northwest and southwest region affecting it when there is no problems
I
in
was,
Douala?
I was, I am the head of Sun Investment Limited, and since I was the target, everything that was associated to me was also targeted. So in
Okay, so that makes perfect sense. Let us go back to your pastoral ministry. I will read out some of your write-up that you post on your Facebook page. One of them goes thus.
to give
Okay, I am quite sorry. I think we've lost Dr. Success Kongo there. So I'll just try and see if we can bring him back. In the meantime, I will be reading out some of your comments while we wait for him to come back online. So yeah, let's do that. So we have someone here who's watching from Kabul in Afghanistan. That's quite interesting. Thank you, Mesombe Mbong, for joining us. And someone here doesn't believe that Dr. Kongo had a company. So we have Ashupo saying, which company? You're a scammer. And I have someone here watching from Kambe, Percy Chongwe. Sorry if I massacred your name there. It wasn't intentional. And then we have someone here showing support to Dr. Kongo. That's Conrad Parker. Courage Kongo, we are behind you. So that's for Dr. Kongo, someone here supporting you. And then there is a comment here from Vincent Kushini. I hope I'm saying that properly, Vincent. Sorry if I'm not saying so. I'm just so scared of this pastor. It seems to me he had a hand in the abduction of Sisiku and his team in Nigeria. So as we are just at the beginning of this, we will need to come back on this question. So I'm just checking again to see if Dr. Kongo is back online. So we have a comment here from Clarion Tevez Al-Sheikh. You know one give name for everything, Don man. And then there is Oben Binkang Ernest. This man is not a pastor. Please stop calling him a pastor, okay? Well, that's the title he goes by, and he says he's got a church. So I think we can take that up with his congregation, right? And I have a comment here from Gildas Kango. Kongo, all these things you're saying here, is it what you're planning to do with the money dictator Biya gave you? Or is it what you have already done? Chai, I fear this boy. Right, I'm going back again to check if we've got Dr. Success Kongo back online. Not yet, so please just bear with us. So I'm just going through all of your comments and I'll pick up some to keep on reading until he gets back so that we can get to the heart of the discussion. We barely started. I have a comment here from Kante Anglo. They will talk all sort of things because he's speaking the truth and it will impact negatively on their satanic struggle. So finally, we're lucky Dr. Success is back and I'm bringing him back on board. Thank goodness. Dr. Success, welcome back. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank goodness. Just to before we carry on, I'm not sure if you're using your phone, but it might be good to put it on, you know, on
I can
quiet.
hear you well. Somebody is trying to call me on the messenger and is causing my mic not to be audible.
I understand. So I think the best thing to do actually to avoid that is actually to put your
I did that. I don't know why it's maybe I didn't do it well.
okay. All right. We'll just carry on and hope no one calls you because I know you have limited time and we've got a lot of grounds to cover. So I'll just get straight there.
Please, can
Before you
I sign out and sign in again so that I can hear you well?
tell you what I'll do, I'll refresh my page and then we'll see how we can carry on
No,
from
I'm
there.
sure the problem is not from you, it's from me. Because somebody, whenever I receive a call, either whether I reject it or accept it, my volume goes down.
Okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Right, let's carry on. That's fine. Because if you have to refresh the page,
Then you
then
have
we
to mute
stop.
your-
Yes, so we can't do that. We're already live. So I'll just go direct to my question. So I was saying that we have to go back to your pastoral ministry. I'll read out some of
Sorry?
your rights. I was saying that we need to go back to your pastoral ministry. So I will read out some of your writes up that you've posted on your Facebook page. So some of the examples are all ambazonian conclaves or meetings, a platform for free sex among the delegates. Amber leaders adore sex more than oxygen. In another post, you say most Amber ladies aren't in support of Ayaba, Akwanga, Tapang, Sako, or Kapo because they love independence. It is because of sex. Reason why Sako and Anu can never give a proper account of the $2 million from my trip to Boya money is because they used it on side chicks. So, do you not think this way of talking on social media reflects poorly on your ministry and thereby diminishes your moral credibility as a pastor?
Now, who gives the credibility? You, me, or God?
I'm asking you the question because that's how people
You see,
perceive it.
let me tell you, credibility does not come from men, it comes from God. And even if my credibility have to come from men, I am more accepted among the pastoral fold in Central Africa more than Chris Ano, more than Sako, and more than plenty of the Ambazonian pastors. I do
Mhm.
not need to go into details. It will interest you to know that no Pentecostal pastor in Cameroon, I repeat, no Pentecostal pastor in Cameroon spends one day without praying for me and without thanking God for me. I don't have to go to details so that they don't go and attack them personally. If
Mhm.
I give you detail, you'll be shocked. So I am more credible in the pastoral field than plenty of the so-called pastors who are Ambazonians in this struggle.
Mhm.
Besides that, even if men do not believe in me, God believes in me, and that's what is important to me.
Yes. Okay, interesting take on that. So everyone, you've heard what Dr. Kongo has to say about that. But just to come back to a recent interaction you have with one of our audience members, because on Facebook, one of our audience members by the name of Kwajika Yumbov said where you claimed that lawyer Naloa B and Mangang had approached you for sex and you called Patrick Asibong as your witness. So people have a hard time accepting that this is true, given that those involved are very respectable individuals. So when and where were you prepositioned for sex by lawyer Naloa B and Mangang?
Who said those involved are very respectable individuals? That means you don't even know Mangang and Nalova. Because if you knew them, you would not even quote them as very responsible individuals.
Okay, so you
Nalova
know them, enlighten us.
Yes, Nalova will tell you publicly that she is not afraid to tell anyone that she wants to have sex with the person. Mangang will tell you the same. So if you knew them, you would not even make such statement. So it's not even a topic we should even discuss it on this platform because everybody who knows these two persons know that they are not shy to talk about sex life in the public. They are not even shy to tell you how many men go to bed with them per day. They are not shy to say that. Nalova have said it on several occasions. Mangang sings it on social media like music every day.
Hmm.
So it's not a news. I belong in various platforms with Mangang. Even last 2 weeks, she mentioned the same thing on the social media on one of the groups that
Okay.
she's in marriage not because she loves the man, she's in marriage because of business, and she goes to bed with whoever she wants to go to bed with. So it's something normal. anybody who met Nalova at the conclave will tell you everyone wanted to go to bed with her, and she wanted to go to bed with everyone. Same with Manga. So it's no news. I can't say it. I can say it in front of them, not only behind them.
Okay, wow, that's interesting. Given that not everyone is part of this group, so people might not be, partisan or have seen these conversations to confirm this, but that's how they know them. Moving on, do you know Pastor Emile Asanya?
Pastor
Emile Asanya.
Go again.
Pastor Emile Asanya.
Yes.
So it is alleged that Pastor Emile of Full Gospel Mighty in Bamenda took 27 million francs CFA from young guys and shared with you through a scam that had promised sending these young men to Australia. So Pastor Emile is said to have escaped to Nigeria because he's wanted by the Bamenda High Court. And also around the same time, it was also said that there was an arrest warrant issued for you. And some people believe that you suddenly disappeared around that period in Nigeria for this reason. So we have a question from one of our audience called Erinze Prince. He wants to know if you're planning to refund the money to the young men, as he claims to have lost 7 million in the scam.
Well, your question is pregnant with the answer. I thought you would have said somebody sent me 7 million and I escaped with it. So you are talking about Pastor Emile Asanya. You should look for Pastor Emile Asanya if you gave your money to him and claim your money from him. Period. It's as simple as that.
But people say you were working with him and that you're the one who actually set him up to start up this scheme and you're the brain behind it.
Now, who are the people and did they ever meet me? Yes or no?
There is a young man who is involved in the Erinze Prince I'm talking about, who says that you were part of the people actively encouraging people to join this.
Madam, the question is, who are the people who are saying so? And did the person who claimed to be a victim ever met me? Me, Success Nkongo? I want to know a yes or no. How can you send 7 million to somebody you have never met?
Well, everybody is trying to leave the country, so difficult times sometimes brings difficult decisions.
It's not possible for you to send 7 million as the person claimed. I don't even know the person's name. It's not possible to send 7 million to someone you have never met.
Okay, Prince, if you're listening to this, that's what Justice Kongo has to say about that.
Send me 7 million. How possible is that?
Well, I'll leave the question for Prince Erinze to come back and give us his backup on that. He's asked this question twice on the forum, so there we have the answer. You are denying that you were involved in any of this scheme, but was there an arrest warrant issued for you, Dr. Kongo, as well, by Bamenda High Court?
You are an intelligent person. You should not say what you have not seen. It has been sung over the past 3 years that I had an arrest warrant in Cameroon, and it was heralded by Akosin Raymond Akota. Where is the arrest warrant? He can't post it on Facebook. Why can't he post the copy of that arrest warrant? There's no such thing.
Okay, let's move to the politics of things at the moment, especially the struggle by the Northwest and Southwest regions against Paul Biya's army, or as some would prefer, the Southern Cameroon's fight against a military incursion by the army of La République du Cameroun. It is claimed that you, a close confidant of Sissoko Ayuk Tabe, the declared president of the interim government of Southern Cameroon, informed La République government about the meeting at Nera Hotel in Abuja, then went ahead to spearhead a smear campaign, pinning this on Milan Atam. What exactly happened that led to the arrest of the Nera 9 in January of 2018? And what is your version of events? Who sold them out?
Okay, I would like to help you to be rational and logical a bit in the course of asking these questions concerning this particular case and any other particular case you want to talk about.
Please,
first of all, I was not a member of the interim government. You have to be a member of the interim government in order to know that interim government has a meeting at a particular venue, at a particular time, in a particular date. But I was not a member of the interim government. Now, if I ever knew the venue, the date, and the time they had meeting, it therefore means somebody in that interim government informed me.
So who informed you?
If I didn't say as I knew, I said if I ever knew. It therefore means somebody in that interim government informed me. Now, in every investigation, you don't begin from without, you begin from within. So who is that person of the interim government who informed me?
Who informed you?
Except you want to say I'm a magician or I'm omniscient. I know everything.
So who informed you?
Nobody. I knew nothing about it.
So how did you know that it was Milan Atam to say
I
that it
knew
was
that it was.
him?
I carried out an investigation about 2 weeks after that.
And you then you ascertained that it was Milan Atam who was behind that.
Within themselves, I asked series of questions for everybody to answer. And I want to remind you what led me to conclude that Milan Atam, Nalova, and Manga have a hand in the arrest of Sisi Kwayoktabe, and quote me anywhere, anytime. Listen, let me challenge you all or Ambazonians. If by any mistake Sisiku will one day make a statement that I Success had a hand in his arrest, I will hand over myself to be hanged. I repeat, if by mistake Sisiku one day tells the world that I Success had a hand in his arrest, I will deliberately hand over myself to be hanged by Ambazonians.
Okay. So out of interest, how were you able to ascertain? How did you conduct this interview? What series of questions did you ask to reach your
That is where
conclusion?
I'm heading to.
Okay.
Number one, Milan was the most trusted and the closest person to Sisiku. He and Aluba were the two most closest person to Sisiku. Number, they were aware of this meeting. 3, no other person who was not member of the interim government had a knowledge of what was happening as at that time in the interim government. Milan supposed to attend this meeting. He came late, and when I did my investigation, it shows that the Rwanda Milan from South Africa to Nigeria did not arrive late. I discovered that the APs from Lagos to Abuja did not leave Lagos late that day.
Yes.
So Milan deliberately delayed himself so he can come to the public and say God saved him. Number 5, when Milan got to Nera Hotel, the host who was Sisiku and Nalova, he never saw them from his declaration. He did not see them, yet he checked into his hotel and spent the night there till the following day. Question is, what gave him the audacity, the courage to spend night in a hotel that was booked by a host where he was informed by the hotel people that excuse me.
Sure.
He was informed. He was informed by the hotel management that same day that something had happened to Sisiku and the rest. Yet he spent the night in that hotel. What gave him that courage to spend night in the hotel where an incident of that nature happened? So even a 5-year-old baby will know that Milan has a hand in that arrest. Sisiku has had series of meetings with the activist. Ask the activist if my name was ever mentioned. That meeting as one of the persons who had a hand in his arrest. The answer is no. Sisiku and I have been speaking. The first day I chatted Sisiku up, the first reply came from him and Professor Awasun was that stay away from people, because when we arrested, the investigator in Nigeria kept asking for you, where are you, so that we can come and pick you too. Number 2, to Yaoundé, they kept asking for you too. Where are you, so that we can come and arrest you? And they advised me to be very, very careful. I'm telling you the advice from Sisiku and Awasum. Sisiku is chatting today with people. He sent a tweet yesterday. Let him tweet and say that I'm lying.
Okay.
He's communicating with people today. So that was just, I was an scapegoat for some criminals who carried out that act. So they had prepared their scapegoat, which was Success in Congo. And in less than 24 hours of the arrest of Sisiku, they came out with an audio that they have done investigation, and that the man who sold Sisiku, his name is Success in Congo. Even FBI cannot do investigation within 24 hours of that nature. FBI. And up till today, nobody even knows the name of the man that released that audio. And yet, Ambazonians took it for the gospel. This was a planned act by Milan Nalova and their clique. Until Jesus returns, they cannot prove it otherwise.
Okay, interesting take there. So that's your version of events. But let's keep it moving. You have often been proud to say that you founded the Umojok Self-Defense Forces, the ASDF. So it has also been alleged that you took $15,000 meant for supplies when you served as chairman of ASDF and disappeared with the funds, plunging the AMBAZONIA Governing Council into major financial losses. What happened to the money?
You see, I do not like to make myself look stupid to people because I don't like to be repeating the same thing over and over.
Okay.
In August of 2017, I released a 52-minute audio explaining this incident.
Okay.
And I said in that August that I will never talk about this again forever. But let me give you the benefit of doubt to answer you, and I will not answer any other person again forever on this particular topic.
Okay, thank you for accommodating us.
Are you listening to me?
Yeah.
Ayabacho cannot dispute what I'm about to tell you. Every other person who is talking, they don't know what happened.
Okay.
Ayabacho had never seen gun with his eyes. I made him to see it, and he congratulated me so much. For 22 years or 25 years, Ayabacho have been fighting. He never saw even a pistol by mistake. But I made him to see it. The materials were bought, and the place of delivery was to be Ikom. When they were transporting it to Ikom, Ayabacho was in Nigeria. And I called him and said, they are coming with it to Ikom. They are traveling over to arrive early morning. Let Benji avail his house. Who is Benji? Benji is the young man who, you see, I don't like to talk too much because it will implicate a lot of people, those in prison, those in the refugee camp. That's why I don't want to go too much into detail. I am very sorry that I mentioned his name. I had promised him that I was never going to mention his name on this.
Yes.
Now, Ayabacho had a representative. All those generals in ADF were trained by this young man whom I am talking to you about. He was a representative of ADF, AGC in ICOM. So I now told Ayabacho, by 5 a.m., the arrived ICOM.
Yeah.
Let your ADF house in ICOM avail its door so that they will come and deposit those things there. Ayabacho refused that is going to implicate those who are living in that house. Remember, I live in Abuja. Where did you expect me to keep them in my house in Abuja? The answer is no. If I wouldn't keep them in my house in Abuja, and it has to be somewhere at the border, where else? Do I have a house at the border? No. So we have to tell those people to pause and wait somewhere and check in a hotel while we arrange for a place to keep it. They waited for 1 week. Ayabacho had not made a place to receive these materials. And people began to threaten me that I brought them a business to set them up, because this is not computer. Remember what we are talking about. It's not computer. It's not tom-tom.
Yes.
They began to threaten me that I brought them business to set them up. So they began to come after my own life. At the same time, Ayabacho and ADF were not ready to receive it because they were afraid. Ayaba only got caught a few months later. He was afraid to come close to where guns were found. I am telling you facts. Ayaba cannot dispute this. That's why Ayaba have never spoken about this matter. Only people who don't know about it speak about it. So at the end of the day, I now told the interim government, if AGC does not want to come and carry this thing, please let us go to this place. I take you go there. You pay the balance money, which was 25%, and collect the material. They too were afraid because after that time, they did not also believe in self-defense. They too were afraid. So what will someone do with those things? I should eat them. If those people were threatening my life, I released their 25% because they have fulfilled their word. They brought it when we needed it, but we did not receive it. So I released their money and allowed so that they should live my life alone. Then at a point, we waited and waited. I didn't know what to do. I told them to go about their business, and whenever we need it, they can supply to us. And that is how it circulated that I stole money.
And were these guns ever delivered in, different installments afterwards?
No, it was just one time. It was supposed to be brought once. They brought it all. How many? Is it not 10? It's 10.
So 10 guns for 15,000
Yes.
US dollars.
10 with bullets were involved.
And what kind of guns were these? What sort of guns were these?
I wouldn't comment about that again. Thank you.
Okay. Let's carry on. So you said you will not mention Ayabacho, but then I'm just going to ask the question linked to
somebody who is in the prison or people who are in the refugee camp, because it can complicate their case.
Okay. So you stand accused of reporting Cho Ayaba, the leader of Ambazonia Defense Forces and Ambazonia Governing Council, to the Nigeria Secret Service and advising them to ban him from entering Nigeria because you said he's using the Nigerian territory to destabilize the government of La République du Cameroun. True or false?
No, that's false. I accused Ayaba and I made a complaint against him because Ayaba promised that he was going to kill me. I met Ayaba at Nera Hotel October 2017. Ayaba told me that he will, if he has his way, he will kill me and gun me down. I went to shake hands with him. After that, I had some attack. Which I was hospitalized and I went to surgery. At the end of the day, I had to issue a complaint at the Nigerian police and Nigerian Secret Service, and they put their agents everywhere to make sure that Ayaba, anytime he enters Nigeria, you arrest him, and I keep to that. Anyone who haunts my life, I will bring the person down. Anyone who comes after my life, anything I can do to come after the person's life, I will do it.
How were you sure that they were Ayaba agents and not from La République, to being that at the time you were very strongly Ambazonian?
My sister, we don't need a prophet to tell us who did it. If Ayabacho promised me hell, and few days after, for the first time in my life, I received an experience that looks like hell, I do not need echography to know that it came from him.
What happened to coincidence?
Sorry?
What happened to coincidence?
What happened to coincidence? I do not believe in coincidence, my sister. What do you mean by coincidence? Okay. I do not believe in coincidence. There's nothing like coincidence. Those are words that were just brought in by people who don't believe in reality. There's nothing like coincidence.
Okay. So are you close to Leonard Nambere?
Yes, I'm close to him.
How did you guys meet?
I didn't get your question.
How did you guys meet? How did you get to know Leonard Nambere? Was it as part of this movement or as part of the Ambazonia struggle, or did you know him before this?
I have been a major actor in the Ambazonian struggle, so it's not a good question to ask. How did I get to know him? There's nobody who does not know Success and Kongo in the Ambazonian struggle, and it's impossible for anyone to be in the Ambazonian struggle without knowing Nambere. So through the struggle, we got to know ourselves.
Okay, thank you for that. And recently, you crossed over the red carpet to La République du Cameroun, and your Twitter profile now reads, Dr. Success is the first Ambazonia fighter to start the first self-defense group on Ground Zero, who has now chosen the path of peace due to the national dialogue. On the same Twitter account on 1st of October 2019, you sent out this tweet, Happy Independence Celebration to the best country on earth, Ambazonia. And still on that same day, you sent out another...
Did I say Ambazonia?
You did say Ambazonia, to the best country.
Read it well.
Ambazonia. Yes, you did. And I can put it here for you to see.
Put it for me to see.
Okay. Sorry, my screen is... There you have it. Happy Independence Celebration to the best country on earth, Ambazonia. And you put the Ambazonian flag on your Twitter profile.
Is that my Twitter profile?
Yes.
Okay, as at that time, I'm not sure I had crossed over to the peace initiative.
But anyways, let me come to that. Let me complete the question. So you sent out another
And I'm
tweet. You sent out
it's
another tweet on the national dialogue and with
hello.
your invitation attached. Yes, let me finish the question. So you sent out another tweet with your invitation to the national dialogue attached, and you said invited by the Cameroon government to attend the national dialogue, which you put in double quote and unquote, which to my opinion is a national charade, razzmatazz, and a political comedy. Paul Biya is a clown. So please help us understand, as the constant change of position is dizzying for Southern Cameroonians, how did you eventually find yourself at this so-called razzmatazz national charade that suddenly converted you to seek the path of peace, even though your Twitter profile location reads Mampe Ambazonia till date?
Okay, fine. That's a good question. I if for those of us who have read economics, there's what they call scale of preference. When you have two options before you choose the better one. La République du Cameroon is not the best country. And that's why Success will never vote Mr. Probia, even up to today. But if I compare the two of them, Cameroon and Ambazonia, Cameroon is more democratic, more peaceful, more tolerant than Ambazonia. So better choose Cameroon than to choose Ambazonia who killed themselves. La République has never killed their own generals. Ambazonian killed their generals. La République don't call themselves terrorists. The other day on your platform, I think on the 1st of February, if not mistaken, Chris Ano made a statement that Yabacho Lucas is the one who beheaded Florence Ayafo. As far as I'm concerned, that's the worst offense I've ever watched since 2016 to today, as far as Success is concerned. That's the worst. Even what the Cameroon soldiers did against those children in the far north, to me, to my opinion, is nothing compared to what was done against Ayafo Florence. And Cristiano said it was done by Ayabacho Lucas. General Ayeke of Lebiale made a statement and called Phil Marshall a terrorist. I'm sure you have watched that video. I know what I can project it for you to see it. I cannot be part of a country that is united. I cannot be part of a country that is fighting among itself. I cannot be part of a country that uses its limited weapon to kill itself, to kill its civilians, to kill its own fighters. I cannot be part of a so-called country that uses force to subject people to obey ghost towns. The last time ghost towns or civil disobedience call was fully obeyed wholeheartedly by Anglophone Cameroonians was October 1st, 2017. From that day to today, people obey under duress.
But how
From
can you
that
say
day,
that? How can you say that La République is better than Ambazonia when La République killing people, killing innocent civilians in the northwest and southwest regions, raising down villages by their military? They are also killing their own if they claim that the northwest and southwest are part of Cameroon. How are they any different from the Ambazonians that you're distancing now yourself away from, that you used to be a part of, and you took arms actually to be a part of them? How are they any
I,
different?
I have explained that in my live broadcast in November 2019, and I continue to explain it here. La République, I am not saying La République is holy. I'm not saying La République is a very good country. I am
You said,
saying
yeah,
that
they're better than Ambazonia, but I don't
they
see, but it's difficult to see how they are.
Ambazonia burn houses, burn hospitals as well. La République does that because they are attacking us. But why will an Ambazonian burn a hospital in southern Cameroon? Hospital that takes care of its own citizens. Why will Ambazonian behead citizens? Why will Ambazonian kidnap students? Why will Ambazonian kill his own chiefs? Why will Ambazonian kill his own fighter? And you expect me to be part of that trash? No way.
But
No
you
way.
forget that you started them. So when you give arms to people who are clueless, like you started the Yomojok self-defense forces, you have already said that you bought arms in Nigeria to give to the fighters. So what do you expect when you give arms to civilians who are uneducated? who don't understand
Good
what
news,
the severity of the arms that they're holding.
good
Aren't you
news
part
is
of the problem? Aren't you
good
part of
news
the
is
problem
what
for
arms that
creating
were
these
bought,
people?
the answer is no. Number two, even if they were delivered in life, there is opportunity for repentance. People can always repent. So I have repented. Should I
Okay.
continue in sin that grace may abound? The answer is no. So I have repented. And if you think you are the one that have the key to forgive me, I'm sorry, I'm not talking to you personally. I'm talking to the listeners. If you think you are the one that has the key to forgiveness, you are making a mistake. God has forgiven me, and I'm moving on with my life, as you can see.
Okay, let me just ask you one quick question to try and understand this your shift, because before you obviously, and you still probably say that you formed the first defense forces on ground zero at a Umojok, and on your social media page before when you started your fighting, you were obviously wounded by what La République Army was doing in your tribe, because you said my entire tribe is about to be raised by Paul Biya. His administrator has ordered my people to evacuate their villages to nowhere. Please come and save us from annihilation. That was a tweet you sent on the 2nd of December in 2017. And on the 25th of February 2018, you tweeted, Paul Biya is killing all my brothers and sisters of Southern Cameroon. If the international community doesn't stand to defend us, we shall defend ourselves. But then your tweet on the 22nd of December 2019, I'm presuming this is after the national dialogue, took a new turn, where he said that the majority of the journeying ambazonian fighters have laid down their arms. Some have traveled abroad while the thieves and kidnappers are still carrying arms because they benefit from free money, from ransoms, free farms, thrones, and free wives. Repent now and embrace peace, you advise. So what are the Southern Cameroonians to believe? That before you dropped your arms, you got free money from ransoms, free farms?
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, ask the question again. What has Southern Cameroon done what?
What are the Southern Cameroonians to believe that before you dropped your arms, you got free money from ransoms and free farms? Because you said in your tweet that the
Yes.
majority of journeying ambazonian fighters have laid down their arms. Some have traveled abroad, while the thieves and kidnappers are still carrying arms because they benefit from free money from ransoms, free farms,
You,
thrones, and free wives. Repent now and
but
embrace peace. That was your advice. But then, because you were part of this group before,
no,
it
I
is
got your
confusing to
question. I want
Southern
to answer you now.
Cameroonians. So yes, people want to know from you because it's very confusing. So does that mean that
My
before this you
question
did this?
answer.
Okay.
I said in my tweet,
Mm,
genuine fighters. What are the definition of genuine fighters? People whose only motivation was passion.
mm,
They have no hidden agenda. They have dropped down their arms. But the others who came in to settle political scores, who came in to increase political ranks, who
mm,
came in to make money, who came
mm,
in to use gun to protect themselves, who came
mm,
in to get friends and wives from people, they are
mm,
still the carrying the arms now.
mm,
If you have been following my activities in the Ambazonian struggle, you will understand that I, Success Nkongo, was a moral conscience of
mm,
that struggle. I never took any rubbish. When Mr. Reverend Jomo's wife was kidnapped, I
mm,
sounded an alarm. I said, we cannot allow this to happen. When they kidnapped our chiefs in Sarwe, I said, we cannot allow this to happen. When Aruke was kidnapped by our own, I said, we cannot allow this to happen. When they cheated the AGC in the third conclave, I fought it. When Sako started his Mago Mago, I fought it. Follow my live broadcast. You will understand that I never gave room for any corruption
mm,
while I was in that revolution. And it
mm,
is that same passion that made me to leave, because we have turned our guns against one another.
mm,
It is that same passion that made me to leave, because instead of making progress, we are losing life, losing popularity, losing ground, losing properties, losing everything. And
yes.
it's only a foolish man. I made
Mm,
an audio today in one
mm,
group. If you buy a flight ticket that you are
mm,
going to France,
yes.
and all of a sudden you find yourself going back to Jamaica and no intention for the flight to go to France, would
Mm,
you manage Jamaica just because you've started the journey, or you do an about turn? That is exactly what I did.
yes.
We not bargain to be losing ourselves with the guns of Southern Cameroonians. We did not start this to be disunited among ourselves. We did not start this to be burying our people because of our greed. We did not start this to make money. So since people have turned it to a money-making machine, I cannot be part of it. I don't care what name they call me. I cannot be part of it. In my message in November 2019, I made it so clear that our case is so genuine. It's just that people don't want to watch that message. They should go and watch it. Our case is so genuine, but we cannot win this war because we cannot win this war because of this, and that I mentioned, it is better we go for a peace talk. These are my recommendation, and I stick to it, and I am very happy that I took that decision.
So when you say go for a peace talk, how do you advise that this peace talk happen? Because for most people, they feel that the national dialogue was a bit of a joke, and you yourself had called it razzmatazz, as the key people who were involved in the AMBAZONIA fight, such as this Nera 10, are still in prison. So how do you advise that we go about this talk when the key people involved are not a part of that discussion?
Are you aware that in December, the military left our territory and they came back only in January 5th? Are you aware of that? But our boys were still killing. You see, Cameroon is showing signs of good faith. But some thieves like Ayabacho, Tapang, Ivo, Mark Barata, Eric Tato, Thief Sako, Cristiano, those are thieves. These people are benefiting from the blood, the suffering, the agony of our people. They will not allow genuine peace to come because this war is a business to them. And I, Success Nkongo, I will fight them till the day I leave this world. If they like, let them paint me green, white, blue. I don't care. I will fight them till the day I leave this world. They are thieves. Posterity will judge them. Eternity will judge them. Their conscience will judge them. They cannot amount to anything. Using the blood of our people to climb on the ladder of prominence, they cannot amount to anything. That is what I suffer.
Okay.
Let them
how were you able to
campaign against me? Let them sabotage me as they want. I do not care. I will do what I know is correct, and I don't care the consequences.
So how were you able to come in contact with La République? Because obviously we've seen that La République is very heavy-handed in handling people
My
that
sister,
are involved in the Ambazonia movement. Most of them are in prison. We've heard of stories of people being picked up from the airport. So how is it that you were able to do this smooth transition? Surely there must be somebody that you were in talks with who was able to organize this for you. How did you do that?
No, I have said this in my live broadcast and even in my interview with Theodore Ngumba, and I do not see the need to be repeating myself over and over. So tomorrow another journalist will call, and the journalists that want to interview me tomorrow should at least listen to this broadcast today.
Okay.
It's like that. I have explained to the world that during the national dialogue, I did not go and I made a mockery of it.
Yes.
The reason I did not go, not because I don't want dialogue. The reason I did not go was because I knew that it was a trap for them to arrest us.
Okay.
I knew that there was not going to be any sincere dialogue. So I made a mockery of it. However, I wrote an article presenting my own solution, and I sent it to the Prime Minister, who was the head of that national dialogue.
Right.
And fortunately to me, he read it and called me after the national dialogue and began to talk with me on the content of what I proposed. And he was amazed that this logical analysis proposal could come from a radical Ambazonian like me. So he became so excited to talk with me on phone. After 3 days, he now said he would like to invite me so that we could sit and talk on the content of what I proposed. I accepted, but I did not accept.
Okay.
That same night, I received a call from Cardinal Toomey. I am a clergyman. I do not play with religious authorities. I
Okay.
do not, and I don't care whether that person is from my denomination or not.
Yeah.
Cardinal Toomey called me and told me that he's aware that I've been invited by the Prime Minister, that he wants me to come. I shouldn't be afraid that no one will arrest me. I say, if Cardinal Toomey talks to me, I don't need God to come and talk to me. I don't need it. This man became Pope. Those people who are assassinating his character, they cannot even measure his shadow as far as character is concerned. So I had to take the day and say, if Cardinal Toomey wants to set me up, so shall it be. And I made up to come. And they sent somebody to come over to Abuja and bring me. And the person, we boarded the flight, arrived at the Simalen airport. I had told my wife it was a risk, and she never accepted me to go. But upon arriving at the Ismailan airport, I was shocked by the VIP reception they gave to me. They asked me to leave my hotel, which I did.
Yeah.
And in the hotel, they lost me. And they asked me whenever I want to be received by the authorities, I should let them know that I should feel free. I'm in my country. I said, what? First day I was free. I moved around, went wherever I wanted to go to. Second day I was free. In the afternoon, I now called them and said, I want to be received. That's how the Prime Minister received me. That's how the authorities began to receive me. Ambassadors began to receive me. And all the top government officials received me. At the end of which, I told them that I had stopped this fight in 2018. When I announced that I was not going to make any live broadcast about this struggle again forever. I had stopped it because I did not see any way forward then. But the only reason why I could not declare publicly because they were killing our people, and I did not want our people to feel that I am discouraging them. But since the past year I stopped this, I have seen how we have moved backward instead. And I will not allow our people to be killed this way. Now, in one of the offices they took me to, if they take you to that office, you take the same decision I took. All our camps have been located. All our camps have been located. All the groups have been infiltrated. You could see it on giant screen. You will see how our fighters are moving from one place to the other. You are seeing them on the screen. And I asked them, why have they not been eliminated? And I was told that the only reason why they have not been eliminated, and they browsed through down, and I saw that the head of state have not given instruction for them to be eliminated. So all those soldiers who are killing fighters is in confrontation. They don't go and put them in their camp and wipe them off. They decided that to save their life, let them surrender. It's of no use to die for the sake of land. When Goodluck Jonathan was contested in 2015 presidential election in Nigeria, he made a statement which impressed me so much. He's a politician, and I'm a clergy. He said, nobody's political ambition was the blood of any Nigerian. End of quote. And when Hassan Ouattara visited him after the defeat in 2015, in a friendly visit, he made a statement, I quote, that people are more important than power. End of quote. If politicians who are supposed to be unbelievers are making such statements, they value the life of human beings than things, properties. How much more me, a clergyman? And I went back to the picture I saw. What profit a man if he gains the whole world and lose his soul? What will it profit you, Ambazonians, if you get independence and everybody have died? What will it profit you? People are more important than power. And if any things that money has changed hands, that is their personal business. For your information, the only flight I took that was paid by Cameroon government was the 31st of December 2019.
Okay, success.
Recently, I was in Yaoundé. I paid my hotel. I paid my hotel by myself.
Okay,
I don't need to be telling you the challenges I went through.
Sure. Let me ask you a quick question. We have a question here
If they
for.
think that they can be corrupted, I, Success, cannot be corrupted. I take decisions based on conviction, not based on whatever somebody can present to me. I know how
All
to make money.
Okay, so given that we have limited time, I know that you will not be here forever. Let's carry on. We've got a question here from Esombe Tukumonse who says, you're doing that and you say that you're a clergy. What kind of clergy are you? So there have been questions around you being a clergy person and also being involved as a
What kind
defense.
of clergy does he know? I'm Elijah kind of clergy. Tell him that I am Elijah kind of clergy.
Okay, you're Elijah kind of clergy. So let's move up to the refugees from Nigeria. So how many refugees have actually returned from Nigeria?
We have, listen, that 31st of December, that was
Mhm.
what you people saw on the screen because that was the highest number we took at the time.
Okay, okay.
But I have gone to Cameroon several times before that day.
Mm. So how
I've
many
gone
refugees have
several times.
returned?
The first time I went alone, the second time I went with 8 people, the third time I went with 17 people, the fourth time I went with 38 people.
So how many people
But
in
this time,
total have returned to Cameroon?
1st December, they wanted to make it a grand event and people were coming much. That's why television came and people noticed that. But I have taken people there. So if we have not taken refugees and fighters to Cameroon, which is their country, is at least 200 plus.
Okay, and what criteria was used to select these refugees?
For this twin election to be over, for us to transport them like water.
Okay, what criteria
Yeah.
was used to transport the few that have come so far?
You say?
What was the criteria used to see the refugees that have come back so far?
The criteria used for what?
To select them, to bring them back to the country, because there are over 50,000 refugees. So what criteria did you use to bring the 200? How do you decide that this one comes and the other one stays? Wow. I think that Dr. Success has frozen. So, okay, you're
Hello.
back. Yeah. So, what criteria was used to decide who will come at that point in time?
If you are asylum seeker,
Mm-hmm.
if you're a refugee,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to return back to your country, nobody was forced. It will interest you to know that
Mm-hmm.
not everyone who came to Abuja to travel to Yaoundé was accepted
Mm.
because a lot of government officials were involved. We didn't want somebody to get to the airport and the Nigerian authority begin to notice that they are forcing somebody. People were interviewed. People were screened. There were people that were disqualified.
And how did you disqualify them? How did you disqualify them? What makes somebody eligible and the other person not?
They could not convince us that they were Cameroonians.
Okay. And how do you know that they weren't? Is it in terms of documentations or where they come from?
If you don't have a document, at least you can tell us more about where you're coming from.
Mm. Okay.
If you don't have a document, at least you can tell us more about where you came from. And we ask you some few questions about that place.
Correct. Correct. Okay, I hear you. So why were they settled in Yaoundé and not their hometowns if, as it said, the war is now over? Okay, I think let me find out. We lost Dr. Success there for a bit, so I will try to bring him back again. Right. There we are. Welcome back, Dr. Kongo. We seem
Thank
to
you.
have lost you there for a bit. So I was just saying that why were they settled in Yaoundé and not in their hometowns?
It will interest you to know that at least 65% went back to where they were living before the crisis began.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to be giving their names so that they don't go and attack them and kill them. I speak before God and before man.
Mm-hmm.
That at least 65% have returned back to where they lived before the crisis began.
Mm-hmm.
And even if somebody did not return to where they were living before now, I think it will be a promotion for me to be promoted from Manfe to Yaoundé. It's a promotion.
Mm-hmm.
Reject such offer.
Okay, so because there's been a lot of controversy swirling around you from different angles regarding this fight, given all that we've discussed, if somebody didn't know you and they weren't a part of this circle that you move in, if you were like other Southern Cameroonians who just see what is happening around you and they hear, would you trust yourself given how often, because you've changed your position before, you were Amber, then you weren't, and then you were, and now you're not. So do you think that anybody should believe
Yes,
anything you've said today?
yes, I will trust myself. Let me tell you something. The way I was brought up not to believe in popular opinion. I was brought up to find out facts.
Mm-hmm.
You see, the man Ellie Smith, do you know when I came in contact with him? When Ambazonian began to sabotage him, that was when I came in contact with him. I discovered that this man is just the best of human being that is being crucified by people he is trying to save.
Uh,
You see, let me tell you something, sister. I met somebody 3 days ago, a lady. The lady never knew I was successful, but after we finished speaking, I told her that my name is Successful. She began to cry. And I asked her, why is she crying? She said, the world is so wicked that the kind of things she has heard about me, she was
mm-hmm.
just praying for me to die and never come across her path one day. And I told her not to cry again. As a matter of fact, to end the conversation, she told me if she could give me a hug. I said, give me a hug.
Mm-hmm.
She said, because the world is so wicked. Listen to me and listen very well.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who have met success, forget about this story, internet. They don't know me. They have not met me.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who have met success will forever and ever bless the day he met success. I mean, anybody. Forget about this internet thing. They don't know me yet. And I will advise everyone not to build their convictions based on the things they hear.
Mm-hmm.
They should build their conviction based on things they have verified. I think I was the first person who succeeded to give a definition of truth to Ambazonians.
Mm.
Now the revolution in Ambazonia, they don't know what is truth. To them, truth is what is popular. To them, truth is what is posted by Mark Barata or Akosin or Eric Tato. They don't know the
Mm-hmm.
definition of truth.
Mm-hmm.
Let me use the opportunity to define truth to our people today. Again, truth is that which is in accordance with reality,
Mm.
that cannot be edited or modified, and that can stand the test of time. I explain. Whatever is said today
Mm.
that can be edited tomorrow is not truth.
Mm.
Any lie plus truth is lie. Any truth plus lie is lie. Truth
Mm.
is absolutely pure. It's just like pure water. If you mix kerosene on it, it becomes kerosene.
Mm.
If you mix it in kerosene, it still becomes kerosene. So it is either it is true or it is false.
Mm.
So
Okay.
they should not be building their convictions of what they hear. They should build conviction of what they have verified.
Okay. We hear you.
Verification takes time.
Okay. So let's carry on because we are almost coming to a close here, and I know that you have limited time, and so does the show. So the next part of the show is going to be a rapid fire question round. And so this round of questions requires very quick responses. I'll provide you with two options, and you must choose only one. So, Dr. Kongo, are you ready?
I am I am a philosopher. I do not respond to yes or no, my sister. So go ahead with your question anyway.
So there's no time for pausing to think. It's supposed to be very fun questions. So
Go
you
ahead.
just choose one option. Right. So we're starting. Are you based in Douala or Mampe?
I'm not in any of the two.
Politics or pastoral work?
I am a sent by God.
Politics or pastoral work?
I am a pastor sent by God.
Money or God?
Now what for you, God now?
Leonard Nambere or Paul Biya?
The two.
No,
Both.
you can only choose one. Leonard Nambere or Paul Biya?
Now, in fact, if I have to choose between the two of them, I'll choose Nambere.
Okay. Refugee or internally displaced person?
Refugee. Internal displaced, they are more protected. Refugees, they need more protection.
Religion or African development?
African development, to hell with religion.
Federation or decentralization?
Federation or decentralization? I think federation. Federation.
Would you hug Cho Alabalukas or slap Sako Ikome?
I will hug Chu Ayaba and slap Sako. Sako knows some Chu doesn't have. Sako has some truth Chu doesn't have, yet he compromised. So I will slap Sako very badly and
Truth
hug Chu
or,
Ayaba.
truth or dare?
What?
Truth or dare?
Death.
Okay,
No,
we dare.
what?
Truth or dare?
I would rather speak the truth and die than to live and tell lies now.
Okay. So would you agree that your truth has a twist to it? Yes or no?
Would I agree that?
Your truth has a twist to it.
Has a twist?
To it, yes.
Never.
Okay, so that's no.
Never.
So you survived that round of questions. Would you change your answers if you had more time to think about them?
Would I change my hand if I have more time to think about what?
Would you change your answers if you had more time to think about responding to these questions?
No.
Okay, so now we'll quickly move on to comments from people in the comment sections from our audience. And we've had some questions on the Facebook page, so I'll ask you some of those. And then we can carry on to conclude. Right, so I'm just trying to get a question on here. So somebody was asking a simple question for the man. How many people have you scammed? This is from Fruva.
Nobody. Instead, people have scammed me.
Okay, interesting question. So I think we kind of talked about this. How were you able to mix your religious views with the armed struggle which you once advocated for? How did you mix religion and bearing arms?
Thou art my battle axe and my weapons of war was my inspiration from the book of Jeremiah that led me to pick up a fight against the government. But like I said, it was out of passion, just like what David did for Israel against Goliath. David was a murderer. He was just defending the people of God. Moses did the same thing. He wasn't a murderer. He was just defending the people of God. But when it turns from self-defense to terrorism, I can no longer be.
Okay. So I'll just quickly read some comments here before we close off. So we have a Conrad Parker here who's saying, sorry, I think I've missed that. Honest Pastor, that's from Conrad Parker. And then we have a Prince Berto who is saying, Dr. Success Kongo, you are a disgrace. And then we have Samuel Clovis who is saying, for you, now you smile, no worry, time go come way, even military no go fit protect you.
I don't hear that one tire. I don't hear that one tire.
So we
I
have
started
another
hearing that in 1992 that I started hearing that. And today we are in 2020.
So we have another comment here from Phi Derek who's saying, thank you, Papa Success. And then we keep having this question recurring from Winnie Mandela. I guess not their real name. Ask that we should ask you if you collected money from AGC and why. Why are you involved in human trafficking, extorting money from young girls? Which passport did you use after you burnt your Cameroon passport online?
Okay, concerning AGC, I think I answered that already. So I don't need to answer it again.
Yeah.
Human trafficking. I've never been part of human trafficking. I've never extorted money from any young lady. If there is one, she should speak up and say, I took money from her and trafficked her. One. I just need one. I don't need more than one. I just need one. I saw some who took money from her and trafficked her. I just need one case. Even if it's a lie, let it just come and say it.
Okay.
Then the last question was passport. How do you expect me to tell you the passport with which I travel? Am I a fool to be doing that?
So do you have a passport right now? That's the question from Lizette Big Mommy. Which passport are you using?
For Christ's sake, I do have passport, my sister. You should know that double nationalities are permitted in the world if all countries don't allow that. I'm not contesting for any political post tomorrow in any country. So allow me to enjoy my even multiple nationalities. Is my to me, I beg.
That's an interesting point though, because Cameroon doesn't accept dual nationality. So how were you able to go back and be speaking to the Prime Minister in your capacity as a Cameroonian and then joining La République du Cameroun?
How many of them in that Cameroon have double nationality? Do you want me to be naming them, my sister? How many of them have double nationality? Even the head of state itself, is he not a Chinese and is he not a Swedish? I beg. The head of state, that's what is written.
So,
Mm.
so we have Conrad Parker here, your very fervent supporter, saying, "Success, you've silenced your enemies." And so, okay, we come to pretty much the end of the show. Would you want to say something before we close?
Well, I want to say thank you to Daily TV.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you to all my viewers.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you to my friends and those who think I'm their enemy. None of you are my enemies. None of you. And I want you to know that if you insult me, I will insult you back on the social media. That is how I am. And God knew that that is how I was before He called me into ministry, and I can't change it. You can't change it. If you insult me, I will return insult back to you. And it is far better to be controversial than to be inconsequential. Do not build your convictions on what is said. Build your convictions on what is real. And for you to know what is real, verify it. Even the Bible says, resist all appearance of evil. Hold fast that which is true. Do not hold lies. Everything I have ever said and I will ever say, even under gunpoint, is with clear conscience. I am not working for Paul Biya. I am not working for Prime Minister Diongute. I am working to save the life of fighters who were deceived by diaspora to remain alive. I am working to advocate for the release of the prisoners, and they will soon be released. I do not care whether you have independence or not, because I do not believe in it again. And if that independence will ever come, it will be worse than La République du Cameroun. As of today, these people call Southern Cameroons, they are not ready for independence. And to the fighters, I ask you to drop your guns, save your life. Forget about the promises they have given to you in the diaspora. Refugees, all of you want to come back home, get in contact with me. I will facilitate it. Your brothers went back home, nobody killed them. And you will come back home, nobody will kill you. That is where I stand today. Whoever wants to believe otherwise, that is their business. I appreciate you all, my sisters, my brothers. Thank you, and have a blessed night.
Thank you very much, Dr. Success Kongo, for joining us, and to our brilliant audience out there on Facing the Facts, joining us on Facing the Facts. Many thanks to those of you who sent in your questions ahead of the program, and those who joined and contributed to the discussion with comments and questions. Please carry on the discussions in the comment section. We'll still be there partaking in it, but unfortunately, our time has come to a close. So thank you again, Dr. Success Kongo, and until next time, enjoy your weekend. I've been your host, Pamela Bonkion. Goodbye.
Shalom.